Hey everybody, we're back playing some more Phoenix Wright. I'm a little ticked because apparently my last God of War video, I didn't even realize my stupid Streamlabs didn't have my mic it's just like every once in a blue moon, for some weird reason, the mic gets like completely, turned off. Not even muted, but turned off, and I had to adjust it just to get it back on. So all the stuff I was talking about, I'll probably have to repeat myself next time I play God of War, because I just got to Alpine, and I'm sitting there talking about historical stuff with like the World Tree and everything like that. All that is completely unheard. You hear the game, but it's like so freaking irritating. Like, it was an hour of a game, and oh god, I hate it when that happens. I do not know why Streamlabs does that. It drives me bonkers. So I end up going to have to repeat myself on that one. At least, bring up what I probably mentioned before. Oh god. But anyway, let's get back to it. Hope everybody's doing well. Mr. Wright? Huh? What? Are trials always like this with you? Like you're swimming up from the bottom of a lake, about to reach the surface, but no matter how hard you paddle, you never seem to get there. Pretty much. Except today we're swimming in quicksand. So what happened to your sister anyway? Apparently she got called off to the judge's chambers. Probably something to do with that piece of cloth. So this is where we turn this trial around, right? Our only weapon, a tiny insignificant piece of cloth. I'm not the one who's starting to feel tiny and insignificant, to tell the truth. Hola, partner. They say you show a red cloth to a bull, he'll fire up his temper. That's what they told me when I was young, when I was a youngin' at least. Officer Marshall. Thought I'd come take a look, see how the trial's going. Looks like I'm late. They've got the home ranch locked down tighter than a fort in enemy territory. That hard to slip out, huh? What is going on over there anyway? All the police I've seen these last 2 days have been really on edge. Don't you got enough on your plate without worrying about other people, compadre? You could be worrying about the chief prosecutor's taste in mufflers, for example. Officer Marshall? The whole muffler thing didn't have anything to do with scarves. She wasn't even wearing a scarf. You don't say. Now don't that just beat all? I've seen the red breeze blow at her slender neck many a time. I saw it that day too. She was wearing a red muffler. What? At the award ceremony that afternoon. It was worth seeing it too, I reckon. What does that mean? In the photograph taken at the crime scene, she wasn't wearing a scarf. So, Miss Starr wasn't mistaken? Well, it's about time. Remember, partner, sometimes you gotta grab the bull by the horns. He just speaks in like weird metaphors. And sometimes you just gotta let the bull go where it will. Time will tell. I have a bad feeling about this. So what are we swimming in now, Mr. Wright? If it's steak sauce, I can hook you up with some fine ribs. Woo-wee! You know, I was just thinking about having like a big juicy steak. I haven't had like a good. I try not to eat too much beef, but steak is a must for me. And last time I had one was for my birthday earlier in April, and like I miss having like a good juicy steak with a side of fries and some alcohol, maybe a margarita or something. Uh, this Long Island kind of drink called the Blue Motherfucker. It's like got a blue dye, but just it's pretty much like a Long Island. I'd like to resume. What's up? The judge keeps looking over at the prosecution. Is something wrong, Mr. Edgeworth? Your face is blue. Your lips are purple. You're sweating bullets. That furrowed brow, those grinding teeth, those watery eyes. What's more, your eyes are unfocused. You're doubled over. Your back is bent. It can't be. This can't happen. I wonder what happened to Mr. Edgeworth. Well then, I believe it is time we continued on with this trial. During our recess, I had requested that the prosecution conduct an investigation. This is unacceptable. It seems our prosecutor is quite beside himself. Excuse me, knock knock. Who's there? What's with this guy? A strange stuffy aura seems to be filling the courtroom. Hey, the temperature rose 5.7 degrees when that man came in. Who on earth is he? Oh, it's you. Oh, sorry I'm late, G. G. The rows were packed. The rows were packed. It's just me. Long time no see, G. How'd you been? Swim much these days? Hello? Hello? No, I've been so busy. Busy, smizzy, G. G. G, my boy. You have to make time to relax. Yes, indeed. G seems to be his nickname for the judge. I'm afraid you're right. Very afraid. Sorry, but who are you? Aha, so you're Wright the attorney. I've heard good things about you, son. Thanks? So sorry about our little worthy giving you all that trouble, eh? You know, we should all go swimming together sometime. Jolly. Little worthy? Mr. Wright, you don't know the district chief of police? Chief of police? He's a top-ranking police officer in the entire district. Name's Gant, Demigant. Pleased to meet you, everyone. So, what do we owe the honor today? It's been over 2 years since you last came to this courtroom, hasn't it? Well, it's worthy here. Look at the poor fellow. I just thought I'd help out by bringing this. Hey, that's my sister's muffler. You can call it a muffler? Is that a real thing? It has to be. Never heard of a scarf called a muffler. So Miss Stark wasn't just seeing things. When the crime occurred, Miss Scott really was wearing that muffler. But to think that it was stuffed into the exhaust pipe on little Worthy's car, no less. A muffler and a muffler. It It's really quite simple. It's really quite embarrassing even for us. What's this? It's what you call a switchblade knife. Quite perplexing, this.
Objection!
Chief, what kind of outfit are you running? Mr. Edgeworth, how could they miss such a vital piece of evidence? If your investigators are this lax, how do you expect us to do our job? Now, wait a minute, Worthy. I have no desire to hear your excuses. I'm telling you to wait. Or didn't you hear me? Have a look at this document where it says person in charge of investigation. There's no mistaking that signature, is there? Miles Edgeworth. That's not fair. On the day of the crime, I had your head in the clouds because you got that award. I know how you feel. But you're the person in charge. I'll expect a written apology. What? Are you serious? Don't be too upset. We'll find a way to clean up this mess that you made. This is the first time I've seen Mr. Edgeworth at a loss for words. This kind of major blunder is unlike you, Mr. Edgeworth. Gah. The court accepts this new evidence, but I'd like to ask the defense a favor first. Yes? Just to be sure, I'd like to take a look at the blade of this knife. The blade, Your Honor? I don't see why not. Could you open it up for me, I wonder? Yes, well, I think all of you have to do is push that switch and... If I cut my finger, Mr. Wright, I wouldn't be able to pound my gavel anymore. Yeah, but if I cut my finger, I wouldn't be able to point at people anymore. Come on, just hurry up and open it. I'm not doing this, by the way. Wow! Don't scare me like that. I'm the one who's scared. Look at this knife blade. The tip is broken off. And this dark red stain. Blood? This does not excuse the actions of the chief of the police department. I would like to hear an explanation from the chief of police himself. I'm terribly sorry, but could I ask you to testify for us about the split between the prosecutors and the police and this knife? Sure thing, not a problem, not even a little one. Really? This knife is special, but I can't say how here, unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation. A detective was killed at the police department? See? What a mess. The time of the crime? 5:15. Scary coincidence, huh? It's not officially linked to this here case, so I can't talk much about it. There was a murder at the police department? A detective? That's hush-hush information, G. We haven't exactly announced it yet.
Objection!
Wait a second. You said 5:15? That's the exact time that Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office. Anyway, we at the department were all flustered, as you might well assume. We're in the middle of a top secret investigation. Don't tell anyone, okay? I think we understand the police department's situation. Well, Mr. Wright, 2 detectives killed at the same time in 2 different places? The chances of that are really slim. Scientifically speaking, of course. I'd like to exercise my right to cross-examine the witness. Very well. However, Keep your questions focused on the case at hand. One second. Excuse me? Special? Hard to come by this particular knife anywhere else. Might that special thing be this little tag? Oh, sorry, Righto, but I can't say that now. Not that. We've established that the knife in Goodman's chest was this knife. Now, why was there another knife at the scene of the crime? That's quite a mystery. And like a mystery is wrapped in something, a muffler. This knife was found on the scene of our crime. This knife was found on the scene of our crime. I think that makes it connected to the case, don't you? See, there's a lot of things that go on at the department I can't explain. It's delicate, okay? Sorry, Righto. Maybe there's something about the knife that will give us a clue. Let's examine that knife while we can, Righto. Evidence that links this knife to Detective Bill. I think perhaps the pieces are falling into place. I should try presenting the piece of evidence that's had me stumped all this time. So, how were things down at the department? Something happened at the police department too, huh? You got a good look in your eyes there, right to my boy? Sharp. Hungry. So, something did happen. And why wasn't I informed? Oh, weren't you informed? Oh, why didn't you ask? No matter, I understand you were busy with Lana's case and all. Well, what happened? What happened at the police department that day? On the same day that a detective was killed in the police at the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed at the police department? That's a fact. Surprising, isn't it, Uggy? I'm at a loss for words. And the perpetrator? Do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested him, in fact. Just arrested? That was quick. But there's still a lot of unanswered questions. Maybe you could help, Righto? I suppose I could help if you help me by giving me data on your case. Ooh, good one. This kid's sharp. Okay, here's the deal. I'll tell you one thing and one thing only. Alright? One second. Second one. Well, how was the detective killed? How was he killed? Now that's the interesting part. It was what we in the forest call a stabbing with a knife. A knife? That's exactly the same as Detective Goodman. That's the spirit. We're cooking now. But you know, that's not the only thing that was exactly the same. What do you mean? There were more similarities between the two cases than the cause of death. It seems like I'm going to have to press this a bit harder.
Hold it!
515? But that's when Detective Goodman was killed in the prosecutor's office. What? Funny, isn't it? A murder at the prosecutor's office and a murder at our place at the very same time? What are the chances? Coincidence? This is just my gut feeling. I say there's a 0.001% chance of that happening. Chief Gant, please tell us more about the incident.
Hold it!
How can you say there's no connection? How? Because I'm the chief of police. I can't just say anything I please, Righto. You understand. Try to understand, Righto. Well, if you can prove there's a connection, more power to you. Maybe there's something that ties the two murders together. Whatever it is, I'd better find it and get to the bottom of this. Two detectives were killed at 5:15, one at the prosecutor's office, and one at the police department. It can't be a coincidence. And that knife, what was it doing there? I better check this knife out. One second.
Objection!
Wait a second. Alas, an honest to goodness objection. This knife, This has to have something to do with Detective Goodman. What do you mean? Aha! And honest to goodness, what do you mean from Ugg? This is great. Look at the tag on this knife. It reads SL92. And this is important. Why? Over here we also have a memo that was on the body of the victim. What's this? 6 minus 7s 12 2. Your Honor, it's upside down. Upside. The printed name on the memo makes it look like it's right side up. But turning it around, and what do you get? Aha! Whoever wrote this note was holding the paper upside down. SL9. That's the same thing that is written on the knife's tag. Well, Chief? Oh, well. I guess the cat's out of the bag. You win, Righto. I win? What game is this guy playing? One second. One second. One second. One second.
Hold it!
Yeah, I'm looking at a video and like I'm looking at pretty much screwing up or whatever, but let me try to figure this one out myself. Okay, this one here. So tell me, where was the victim found? Well, I can't speak on where the corpse was found, but I can say the crime took place in the evidence room at the police department. Evidence room? Well, wait a second. I've heard of that. The evidence room? Didn't he mention that in his testimony just now? This knife was evidence in the case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. There's the connection between the two cases. You seem happy, Mr. Wright. Happy? Happy? We just got handed our ticket to go to town on this case. With the link between the two cases established, we finally have some leverage. Now we can get Gant to testify about the details. had to go find like another video just to make sure I get past this part. Chief, the defense position is simply this. The connection between these two cases has already been proven. You don't say. Well, out with it, Righto. What's your connection? Yes, out with it, Mr. Wright. The connection is a place mentioned in the testimony we just heard. The knife found in the lot was stolen from the police department's evidence room. Not to mention the victim had on him the case number on the knife's evidence tag. And we also know that the detective murdered at the police department was killed in that very same evidence room. Indeed. There do seem to be too many connections for it to be a coincidence. It's a really long pause. You two make a good pair. It took my men 2 days to find out what you deduced right here. Chief, I request that you release your information on the victim at the police department. See, that's the tricky part. It hasn't been announced yet that in all. Can we get that information unofficially? Sure, why not? It's unofficial after all. What? Really? Who would have guessed? I'll corroborate, but I can't reveal the name of the victim at the department, okay? If you're going to tell us a little, why not tell us everything? Well, case information is sticky stuff. You have to do everything properly. Oh, well, I guess I might as well try to get what I can out of it. Okay, how about you tell me the victim's ID number? Sure, why not? It's not like you'll be able to tell who it is from that. Of course not. You won't tell me their name after all. We keep a tight lid on ID numbers, so don't go getting your hopes up. The number is 584-2189. Well, that's quite long. And we have to remember these. It drives me nuts. 82. I can't do it. You didn't even get the first number right? Well, Miss Wright, does this tell you anything? ID number of the victim at the police department. I should say it tells me something, obviously. Sorry. Been up since like 10. Actually, it does, Your Honor. It does. I think. Meaning? It has to be what I think it is. But what does this mean? Well, let's hear what the defense has to say. You say the ID number of the detective who was murdered at the police department. Tells you something. What does it tell you? That's the same thing.
Take that!
Witness. What is it, Mr. Wright? You're grinning like a schoolgirl on prom night. What? No, I got confused. And this is news? Huh? Just come out with both guns blazing like you always do. The police department, the prosecutor's office. 2 places, 2 detectives murdered at one time. Actually, I happen to have a police ID number here. Oh, who? It is yours? No, Your Honor. I'm a defense attorney, remember? This is the ID number of our victim, Detective Goodman. Shame on you, Righto. Personal IDs are top secret. Detective Goodman's ID number is 5842189. And this means what exactly? Huh? Wait, the ID number we heard from the chief earlier. That started with 82. I forgot it. You didn't even get the first number right again. The number the chief of police gave us was 8. I just did it. 5842189.
Objection!
Wait a second, Wright. What does this mean? That's what I want to know. The 2 ID numbers are identical. In other words, the detective killed in the police department's evidence room was Bruce Goodman. What does our witness think about that? Oh, ho, 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 ho. Sharp as a tack, righto. Sharp as a tack. Wait, Detective Goodman is our victim. He was killed at 5:15 in the underground parking lot. Yet, a detective, Bruce Goodman, was also killed at the police department. In the evidence room at the exact same time.
Objection!
That's impossible. So what we're saying is, the same person was killed at the same time in a completely different location. Chief, what does this mean?
Objection!
No, what I want to know is, why didn't I hear about this? Yes, it's top secret, fine, but I'm the prosecutor in charge of the case. Now just wait a second, Worthy. No need to get all flustered. Your Honor, the police department has made a grave error in this case. Wait. I said wait. Or didn't you hear me? The oversight, the grave error. Mr. Edgeworth, they're yours. What? How dare you? We informed you yesterday. I believe it was our Officer Meekins who brought you the news. Officer Meekins? That's right. Where have we heard that name before? Wait. Aha! Excuse me, but is Mr. Ezra anywhere on the premises? I'm here, sir, at the request of Chief, sir. I've got your report, sir. You don't mean him. According to Meekins, you didn't accept the report. Hard to believe. But your officer, he told me. He said that the report had nothing to do with the Lion Sky incident. Detective Bruce Goodman, murder in the police department evidence room. Miss Edgeworth, the victim's name is written right on the top of the report. Gah! Why didn't your officer tell me? Honestly, I'm not sure if that officer was capable of making the connection. He did seem challenged. In any case, this is a serious error, a gross negligence of duty on your part, Worthy.
Objection!
But sir, you could have submitted that report this morning to the court as evidence. Then I... feel like a Yu-Gi-Oh! Bad guy. No such luck this time, Worthy. Or should I say, unworthy. What? Now, what was the second rule of evidence law? Well, Mr. Wright? Huh? Oh, well, it's, Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. How is this rule relevant? Why can't I say the word? Relevant? Normally, you submit a list of evidence to be used in court before the trial. This report wasn't on that list. So, what does this mean? You just know what it means. You're a judge. I couldn't submit this evidence until the connection was proven in court. The connection was just proven by Wright over here. Good job, Wright, my boy. Huh? Well, No. No! It seems we have come to an end of this trial. I know you're going through a tough time, Worthy, with all those rumors. You were even in the defendant's chair just this past December. I apologize for this terrible lack of due diligence on my part. Mr. Edgeworth, please, just give me one day. I'll get to the bottom of what happened. If it's the last thing I do. You better get results this time, really. You have my profound apologies, sir. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth. I don't think there's ever been an error this serious in the history of this court. I will grant one further day as the prosecution has requested. Will that be sufficient, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Whatever your punishment for this is, for your sake, I hope it's not decisive. Very well. Court is adjourned. Okay. Okay. And that is it for Phoenix Wright for today. I'll definitely be back some point tomorrow, Sunday, because mostly I want to play God of War again and just try to get some, well, at least like apologize to the viewers who've been like looking forward to those to that content, because they're probably wondering why I'm so quiet all of a sudden. God, it irks me so much. The stupid Streamlabs. It shouldn't. It's like, it was working fine when I was playing Multiverses an hour before I got into God of War. I don't know. Every once in a blue moon, it does this, and like I don't notice half the time, or at least don't really focus on like the meter when it's like registering my voice. Anywho, yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. Don't know if I'll fit in. Well, we'll see if I can fit in Phoenix Wright again, because we'll try to get multiverses and God of War and this all, this weekend. So anyway, take care. Have a great evening. I'm already getting started with Iron Man Armored Adventures. Once I get done with season 1, I'll go into the first movie. At the same time, read, start beginning reading one of the comics. So that way I'll have some new reviews in the next week. So anyway, take care, be safe, and now I'm hungry. With that talking about that steak, now I'm starving. So yeah, see you later.